What's up everybody, Extra Million here once again with Totally Sick Final Fantasy VII Edition, and this time we are going to go on a short side quest trip to the town of Wutai. Wouldn't you know it, Yuffie is leading us into a trap, and she runs off with all of our materia. The fight that you just watched is against these guards that have the ability to give you the status effects Darkness and Sleep, in addition to regular attacks like the gunfire and the grenades. So with no materia, they are fairly difficult to kill with just Eris alive. The reason we are doing this side quest is because much later in the game, there will be a time where you will have to fight the Turks, all three of them, but if you do this side quest, you can choose to skip it, and you basically have to do this one to skip it, because otherwise they are impossible. There is a way to glitch past it, but if you're looking for the legitimate way to do it, then this is that one. Eventually we chase Yuffie down, and she gets kidnapped by Don Cornero, of all people. Remember him from the beginning of the game. Then we get in another fight with these guys. And then we have to go confront Don Cornero, and we get in a boss fight with his next pet. Before you go up there, you'll want to give everybody the Fury status so that they can get their limit breaks much quicker. And then you will begin the fight with his enemy, Raps. His first one was called Apps, this one is Raps. Raps has 6,000 HP, and basically you'll want to get the first turn. If you don't, there's a very likely chance that you will die. As you can see, I did not get the first turn, but he luckily did not kill any of my characters. And then once you do get to move, you'll basically want Barret to use his Mind Blow attack, which reduces all the enemies' MP to 0. This is because he will usually open the fight with one of two moves. He will either do his double attack like he did, but more often than not it will target the same character and that character will be dead, which is fine if that character is Cloud. If it's Aerith or Barret, then you basically want to start over. The other attack that he will do is a wind-based magic attack called Arrow 3, which does around 1500 damage. And obviously at this point in the game, that is a one-shot kill. This fight's not particularly difficult, except for the fact that you have no materia, so the only attacks that you can do are limit breaks and regular attacks. Now, besides his arrow attack that he can no longer use, he can do a double attack that can consist of either his regular physical attack or another move called Scorpion Tail, which he can also use by itself. And Scorpion Tail is essentially just a normal physical attack, except that it also has a chance to inflict poison. As you can see, he's already inflicted poison on Aerith. Now, the longer you can go without Aerith being poisoned in the fight, the better. And the longer you can go without either Cloud or Barret dying for the first time, the better, because once they die and are revived, they will no longer have the Fury status, which means it'll take just longer for their limit breaks to build back up. The reason that poison is bad for Aerith in this fight, it's not really bad for Cloud and Barret because they'll just die anyway and you can just revive them. But the reason that it's bad for her is because, like I mentioned way back in the sample HO512 fight, if you want a character to defend, all you have to do is select the defend option, and then you don't have to select anything else. They will stay in their defended state until you select another option. But if you have the poison status effect, every time the poison numbers come up, which varies depending on how high you have the battle speed set, every time those numbers come up, the defended status is revoked and you are basically back to normal, so you can take full damage. And more often than not, the numbers will come up and then Raps will attack you and then you'll take full damage and most likely die. So you basically have to just be extremely vigilant in selecting defend right after the numbers come up. Other than that, it's pretty easy. Basically just keep reviving people with Aerith, and then just constantly use limit breaks and regular attacks. The only other difficult thing about this fight is because you have no materia, you also don't have sense, which means you'll need to take out a calculator and manually keep track of how much health Raps has left. Also, for some reason, Fraps did not record any of the sound effects, so all the little beeps and boops of the selecting were not recorded, only the music was. As you can see, try to do a move or input a command before your limit break bar fills up, so that you can get the full benefit of that limit speed up. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to the end of the fight now. It probably goes without saying, but this boss is also immune to gravity-based attacks. He is not immune to gravity-based attacks. If we could use them with items, then this fight would be really easy. What I meant to say is that he is immune to the stop effect, so basically just select Braver with Cloud. There's no reason to use Cross Slash, because he can't be paralyzed by it anyway. As you can see just there, it's very easy for him to just decide that he's going to do a double attack and use the same character as the target and very easily kill you. More often than not, that would happen to Aerith right as the poison numbers would pop up, so that she would take full damage and then basically just be killed. So once you get him down to where 1 or 2 hits from Aerith will kill him, just make sure that Cloud and Barret move into the front row so that they're targeted more often and they take more damage. And then just wait for them to die and use Planet Protector on Aerith. Once you use Planet Protector, she will no longer take poison damage, so that's good at least. Now, be aware that it is still very possible for you to lose. Because Aerith is under the Fury status effect, she has a chance to miss all of her attacks. That's greater than she normally would. So if you're extremely unlucky, you could end up missing all of your chances to attack. You'll also want to move her into the front row so that she does more damage with her physical attack. Now, because you're on the slowest battle speed, Planet Protector will last for quite some time, but obviously missing an attack like I did there caused my heart to skip a beat, but thankfully I hit with the next attack and he dies. And the Turks decide to take pity on you and leave fighting you for another day. So once that side quest is over, Yuffie will give us all of our materia back. And then we can move on with the actual story, which is to head to the Temple of the Ancients. Get there by way of going to the Gold Saucer. So head back to Corel, and I will see you guys next time.